In this week's show, the Freeride World Tour kicks off the season with its first tour stop in Revelstoke, Canada, where we check out the mighty Mac Daddy competition face. Xavier Delarue finds his own style in the mountains. We have the latest from the qualifiers with the La Clusaz Radical. Sam Antemonten introduces us to safety in the backcountry, and we have all the best action in ski and snowboard from the men and women in Revelstoke. Deep in the heart of British Columbia, Revelstoke Mountain Resort plays host to the Freeriders for the first tour stop of 2013.
Revelstoke is one of the coolest places I've ever been. The skiing is great, and nowhere else can you see so many pickup trucks with a sled deck with 2 sleds on it. It's a good vibe and a lot of happy people who's just enjoying snow. So this is pretty much where I want to be.
Revelstoke is like Mountain Baker stacked on top of Jackson Hole. The amount of vertical here is unbelievable. By the time you get like most of the way up, you're like in the clouds, and then you go through the next set of clouds. But it's unreal. What you can get to off just 2 simple chairlifts and a gondola here is unlike anything in the world.
So the Mac Daddy face is outside of our area boundary, so it only gets controlled for this venue. And the reason there's no trees up there is because it's a frequent avalanche slope. For the athletes, a big part of it's going to be their slough management. It's such a steep face, and with all this new snow, they can be dealing with size 2 avalanche slough, which can definitely take them out over the cliffs. It's steep enough that if they lose a ski or fall, they're coming out 2,000 feet below. Yeah, it's a big burly venue.
Mac Daddy is a big face, so you can get lost.
Definitely believe the Mac Daddy face stands up to all the faces on the World Tour. I'd actually call it one of the better ones. It's steep, it's long, it's challenging, it has an amazing variety of terrain, and which we need because we're a lot of riders this year. So I think this face is very, very good for the Freeride World Tour.
It's a perfect textbook example of what a comp venue should be.
Mac Daddy definitely was looking at today. You get the, it's big mountain skiing.
Being here and having the opportunity to do it is huge. It's just a matter of which single line I have to pick and hold on tight, right?
After a week of non-stop snow and low visibility, the mighty Mac Daddy face broke through the clouds to welcome the snowboarders. From the freeride mecca of La Grave in France, Aurélien Routin dropped in, heading for the steeper, more technical skier's right-hand side of the course. With plenty of loose snow sloughing around him, Routin did well to stay on his feet, and then found a fast cliff drop to secure a solid run and a score of 74 points. Another Frenchman in the starting gate is last year's world champion Jonathan Charlet of Chamonix got ready to drop into the Mac Daddy. Charlet also headed skiers right of the course, picking his way down and carefully managing the cascades of loose snow releasing around him. Having found his line, Charlet charged straight down the face, smoothly landing a cliff drop, then overcompensated as he tried to control his speed, pulling a wheelie and wiping out. His crash here sent his score tumbling to a disappointing 25 points and the bottom of the pack. A poor start of the season for our reigning champ. Former bordercross star Ludo Guiodia of Villard-de-Lans, France was back this year with a point to prove after a poor rookie season in 2012, which saw him have to re-qualify to get back on the tour again. Guiodia headed to the more playful left-hand side of the course, but cautiously reined it in for the first feature. Working his way down to the trees, Guiodia landed a good-sized cliff jump, followed by a second cliff lower down. Landing solidly despite the deep snow and scoring a welcome 79.33 with the judges. Next up was Ralph Backstrom out of Squaw Valley, USA, last year's winner in Revelstoke and a man who knows this ski area well. Backstrom dropped in, heading far skiers left, navigating his way across a broad stretch of the contest face. Having gained his bearings, he followed a long traverse skiers left into the trees before dropping into a steep, stair-steppy triple cliff drop. Landing in deep powder, he just avoided going over the handlebars, hanging on to take first place with 89 points. 10 points clear of Guiodia in second and 15 clear of Rutan third.
So coming into this comp in our last season, came pretty close to getting the title, and yeah, just, you know, butt check or two shy of the title. So coming up here, really wanted to get a good result, and was pretty pleased with how that came out.
The women's snowboarders started later in the day, challenged by low visibility in the clouds. 2010 overall champion Aileen Bach of Germany was back in the start gate after taking time out to recover from a spinal injury. Struggling in the flat light, Bach had issues sticking her landings and was clearly out of sorts. She finished the day with a low 40-point score. Elodie Mouton out of La Clusaz, France, in only her second year on the tour, picked her way carefully down the massive contest face. She managed to avoid taking a tumble, except at the finish line, and did just enough to squeak into third place with her run. French freestyler Margot Rosiers, aided by a gap in the clouds, peeled skiers left, taking one of the more confident lines of the day amongst the female snowboarders. Rosiers spent most of last year in the number 2 spot, and unfortunately, 2013 Revelstoke would not be any different. Rosiers once again taking second place with 58 points. Shannon Yates of Snowboard USA started to run positively, although the face was looking pretty bombed out by the time she dropped in. She struggled to find the luxurious deep powder her male colleagues had enjoyed. Nonetheless, she proved her strength as a free rider, choosing steep, difficult lines and riding them with a high degree of fluidity and control. Key judging factors that saw her take first place with 63 points.
I feel fantastic. It was a big, beautiful face, steep and challenging. I found my line and I executed my run as clean as I could, so I'm pretty excited about the whole day. And it's gorgeous up here. It couldn't be better.
I think competition is healthy in a way. You know, it's a good reminder of where you stand really. Like, because it's pretty easy to be, you know, in your own bubble and having people telling you how great you are. I think it's good to go up on the face and have people from all over the world, and you all have the same chances. It's brought me a lot. I think it's made me a way better snowboarder than I could have been without it, that's for sure. When I started snowboarding, I tried, you know, at the time we did everything. We did a bit of park, we did alpine riding, we did, well then later when bordercross came, we did that. You know, I was working hard in school, and yeah, snowboarding was just a side thing, and I never thought that I could ever be a pro. But then yeah, when I was 17 or 18, I followed my instincts, I guess, but yeah, it's been the best decision I've ever made. I think it took me quite a while to realize what kind of snowboarding was my snowboarding. And I remember my first year on the Freeride World Tour, seeing all these skiers coming and sending these lines in those places where I didn't even think there could be a line. I rode fast the first year and everyone was telling me, "Oh, you're crazy, you cannot ride like this in big mountain, this is dangerous." And it took me a while to spend a lot of time into the mountains to realize, no, I ride fast, that's the way I feel comfortable. And I think that's when I started winning. And like the key in big mountain riding is to know what you can do and know what you can't. I've always had that vision of a good snowboarder could be able to ride anything. And I think that someone that would have had the same past and kind of training that I've had would feel the same. Like, to me, bordercross is the perfect school for that. It makes you tough in the head and it makes you tough and solid on your board. And I think those skills really helped me to push it and to feel really at ease in the mountains.
Hi, my name is Samuel Antamatten. I'm a professional freerider and mountain guide, and today we're going to talk about the safety in the backcountry. The most important tool if you go on the backcountry is the transceiver. A transceiver sends out a signal to another transceiver, and it helps to find a buried person in an avalanche. So the next really important tool is our probe. We're going to use our probe to locate a person underneath the snow as quick as possible so we can get the victim out without shoveling too much. You can feel the difference from the ground to a body or a backpack. So the last important thing that we need to have is the shovel to get the buried victim out of the snow. All of these things are tools that we need to rescue someone, but of course the best thing is to avoid an avalanche. If we study the snowpack, we can understand the different layers and how well they are bonded together. If we feel now with our finger, there we got some new fresh snow, some rain, you can see that here, and then it's quite compact all the way down. I just isolated a column of snow, so the pushing on the shovel is going to represent the weight of a skier on a slope. 10. Then we go out from the elbow, so no moving there. Overall, our compression test was pretty good. We could see that the first layers are a little bit weak, but that's normal if you have fresh snow. Lower down the snow pack is well bonded together, and I think today is going to be a good day to go skiing.
Next to tackle Revelstoke's Mac Daddy were the female skiers. With over 750 vertical meters of steep lines and fresh snow, it would be a thigh-burning adrenaline fest for the ladies, despite the sub-zero temperatures on the summit. Australian Natalie Siegel, a regular competitor in free skiing events, dropped in skiers left, taking a bumpy traverse across the top of the face. Despite skiing very cautiously at first, she soon found a double pillow line to drop and kept her feet on the tricky run-out, earning herself a well-deserved third place with a score of 55 points. Nadine Wallner of the Arlberg region of Austria rode down the middle of the face with plenty of fluidity, despite the rapidly changing light. She hit numerous features on the way down, and her fast, confident technique as well as her choice of line impressed the judges enough, winning her second place with 58 points. Overall champion 2012, Christine Hargan of Sweden pulled out the experience card. confidently dropping into a steep technical line despite not having skied here before. The fluidity of her run, as well as the difficult line choice and the stomped cliff drop, set her run apart from the other skiers. The judges awarded her 65 points and first place.
It feels really good to finish this contest because it was really hard conditions. Very steep contest venue and like a lot of good skiers, and I was very nervous because everyone believes in you and you really need to show what you can do, and yeah, I'm really relaxed about this is over. It's nice. The first contest, winning the first contest means a lot.
There was a stacked field of talent in the men's ski category as 28 of the world's best free skiers lined up to make their mark on the epic Mac Daddy face. Argentinian Nicolas Salençon blazed a trail down the skier's right-hand side of the face, spinning off a small hit before heading into some steep terrain where he stomped his first cliff drop. Followed by an impressive double that he landed despite a heavy backslap. Former freestyle and mogul champion Julien Lopez of France was no stranger to this face. And he headed skiers left, unlike the majority of the ski men. Taking a long traverse into the trees, Lopez finally found his line and cleanly linked together a series of pillow drops and cliffs, sticking his landings and taking third place with 73 points. Last year's overall champion Ronnie Barkerud of Sweden chose to go fast and steep from the outset. He set up an impressive double cliff which would have seen him score highly, but instead he came badly unstuck, losing control as he backslapped and tomahawked skiless down the competition face. Revelstoke was a chance for Kiwi skier Sam Smoothie to pick up where he left off last year. With 3 podiums and 3 crashes in 2012, Smoothie's style was pretty obvious. Go big or go home, and almost won him the title. Opting for a more considered approach this time around, Smoothie took Lopez's long traverse to skiers left, where he picked a tight pillow line through the trees with a solid run out, followed by another well-executed cliff drop. It would not be enough to get on the podium, but 7th was not a bad place for Smoothie to start his season. Jeremy Heitz of Les Maricottes, Switzerland was back on the tour after a one-year absence and proved he hadn't just been lying on the couch as he took a fluid fall line route down the face, throwing powder turns and dodging his slough before setting himself up for a high-speed double cliff drop. Near flawless execution, he earned himself a 79.67 from the judges and second place. But it was to be Drew Tabke's day. The fly-in Hawaiian from Crystal Mountain, USA finished second and third at Revelstoke in the past. He used his experience to pick a feature-rich line that still held good snow even after so much traffic before him had sloughed out the venue. After starting off the skier's left-hand side, Tabke avoided the long, drawn-out traverse others had taken here and aimed instead for the trees in the lower middle of the face, where he made full use of the abundant features, hitting cliff after cliff with a smooth, relaxed style. It was clearly the run of the day, and the judges scored him highly, nearly 12 points above Jeremy Heitz in second place and 18 points clear of Lopez in third.
I felt like I had a winning line, and I knew if I did it right, it would turn out well, and I landed it. My plan this year is to be a little more aggressive, actually. You know, I had a lot of like 5th place finishes last year, and that doesn't pay as much, and it doesn't win a world title. You have to be in the top 3 more often. So more aggressive, maybe take some more risks, but looks like it paid off right away.
Bonjour, je m'appelle Antonin Liotagui, je suis le directeur de course du Radical Mountain 2013. Ok, aujourd'hui on a eu un temps exceptionnel, de la poudreuse 70 de profond, un niveau de course exceptionnellement haut et puis des conditions parfaites pour courir en toute sécurité. C'était un radical exceptionnel.
A huge start list of 98 riders made their way to the top of the Petite Torchère, situated on the Massif de Balme, for this 4-star qualifier event. A top-tier competition, there are plenty of points on offer here for riders trying to qualify for the main Freeride World Tour next year. Johanna Schnitzer of Germany, a regular competitor on the Freeride World Qualifying Series, won the men's snowboard category yet again, with a fluid line which ended with a big cliff drop. Lorraine Huber of Austria lost her spot on the Freeride World Tour last season and so is back on the qualifying series, trying to get enough points to regain her place in the main tour. Huber landed her cliff drop cleanly despite the deep snow and took home first place. The standard was, as usual, very high in the men's ski category, with plenty of big scores as the riders took full advantage of the playful contest face. But it was local skier Mikael Biasson who took first place, spinning out of the start gate and then taking a fluid line to the cliffs, where he spun a clean 360, sticking his landing despite the choppy snow below. With the Freeride World Qualifying Series growing ever more popular, Verbier recently held a series of 2-star freeride competitions and a special Freeride Week, designed to give amateur riders contest experience and help them build up the contest points they need to move up through the different levels of the qualifying series.
My name is Cyril Nery. I'm a 3-time winner of the Verbier Extreme, and now I'm taking care of the juniors event and of the qualifier week in Verbier. Regarding this week in Verbier, we've been more than lucky with the weather, with the snow, with all the people coming to help and work, and mainly with the riders, because we discovered a few new talents, which was the first goal of this event.
Coming up in the next edition, the tour heads to Courmayeur, Italy for the third stage of the Freeride World Tour. As well as pizza, pasta, and salami, we'll bring you the latest news from the world of freeriding and the hottest action, as the best riders in the world once more go head-to-head for the title of Freeride World Champion.